Tobago, welcome to Real Talk. I'm your host, Saieed. A little update for you viewers. The much anticipated third lane on the southbound lane of the Sir Solomon Hochoy Highway between Shogunas and Chase Village is officially opened. In addition to this, a new lay-by near Bagwansing Hardware is partially accessible. The announcement, which was made via a Facebook video by the Ministry of Works, also added that works are still ongoing on the site. Final touches such as drainage, guardrail, pedestrian safety features, and signage are still being added. So Trinidad and Tobago, that was the opening of a third lane by the Bagwansing business in Shogunas here, but on the flyover. The third lane is officially open. So there's a third lane now from Grand Bazaar comes straight down to Chase Village. I believe that is a complete third lane to ease the traffic. And after we pass Chase Village there, that's it. Back down to the bottleneck two lane. But hopefully in the coming years, this government may introduce the third lane from Chase Village, go straight down to south, but do it in part just to alleviate traffic because, everybody wants to own a car and we have to look for ways to alleviate traffic. That's one of the main concerns we have in this country right now. Anyway, all schools across the nation will be closed on Friday, 10th of October 2025 as the Education Ministry has granted approval for the tutor to hold its annual convention for teachers. This will allow teachers to attend their convention at their respective district as parents, guardians are asked to make the necessary supervision arrangement during this period. So viewers, again, that is on the 10th of October. Tutor has been given permission from the Education Ministry to keep the annual convention for teachers. Also, the delivery of more than 51,000 social welfare checks officially commenced on Tuesday. Following the receipt of checks from the Ministry of the People, Social Development and Family Service on Monday, October 6th, the Trinidad and Tobago Postal Corporation, TT Post, completed all necessary internal processing to ensure the secured and accurate distribution of payments. So probably the machine went down and they couldn't print checks. That is no human fault. It is the machine, so we can't blame nobody for that. Trinidad and Tobago. It's mechanical, things happen. So, in our news tonight, viewers, in our current affairs segment tonight, Finance Minister Devendranath Thakur will present the 2025-2026 national budget on Monday, October 13th at 1 p.m. in Parliament. So Trinidad and Tobago, after the back and forth on the social media platform, we can confirm the 13th of October at 1 p.m. in the Parliament. Minister of Finance Devendranath Thakur will read the budget to the 1.4 million people in Trinidad and Tobago. This will be his first budget presentation since taking over the finance portfolio and is expected to outline measures for national development, social support, and economic stability amidst ongoing forex shortage and cost of living concerns. Last evening, the announcement sparked confusion after a budget date circulated on social media before its official confirmation. A digital flyer showing the finance minister and the budget detail went viral, leading a mixed reaction from government officials. So now Trinidad and Tobago, a new party is governing the country. And they are the social media hawks who like to develop and create and spread propaganda, spread false information. Let me tell you something. This is not a thing of the past, this is something from the present. From the present. We get that in our country. All country. content creator create all sorts of things to mislead citizens in their country, sometimes ministers, sometimes people, sometimes health. We just have to wait for an official website, which belongs to our ministry, shares an official document. So here's the reason why, viewers, I just always say, you see, putting out information there, you just have to make sure that the information is correct. Make sure it is what it is before we throw it out in the media, because, let me tell you something, giving somebody a bad name is a serious thing, you know. It's a serious, serious thing. But nevertheless, on Tuesday, Prime Minister blamed leak info for the mix-up, saying the date would be confirmed through official government channels. The matter was settled early this morning when Minister Tanku and Prasad Bisesa shared the UNC and Ministry of Finance Facebook post confirming the October 13th date. So, this was a real bacchanal thing, you know. This was a real bacchanal thing. But whoever did that, and the ministry find out whoever it is, I mean, there should be some sort of penalty. If you know that, hey, this is coming, why are you that is not your portfolio, so why are you sharing it? Why are you sharing it? Nobody gave you permission to share something. I'll tell you something. We need stricter penalties, stricter action, especially coming to government issues. Too much fly-by-night things happen, and they just take it for granted. Too much. But nevertheless, we in Trinidad and Tobago, viewers. So, as I say sometimes, we expect anything to happen, you know. Anything. Moving along. The People's National Movement, PNM, has slammed the government for what it called the bungled handling of the national budget announcement. In a statement on its Facebook page on Monday night, the PNM said the public was left in total confusion after Finance Minister Devendra Tanko reportedly posted and then retracted the budget date on social media without explanation. In the release, the opposition urged the government to formally declare the budget date, warning that time is running out to complete the necessary procedures before October 31st deadline, when the appropriation bill must be passed and assented to the correct place. On Tuesday morning, the 2025-2026 budget date was officially confirmed for October 13th. Former Police Commissioner Gary Griffith also weighed in on the matter. Listen to this.
The important thing is not the date to reveal the date of the budget, but what is actually in the budget. But yet again, we will see that there are certain persons in their excitement to want to step outside of their zone, would want to be selling information without it being verified by the relevant personnel from the government. So I think the only persons that could give clarification as it pertains to whether it was a mistake, whether it was a leak, whether it was something that was done incorrectly, it should only be said and done by the representatives of the government.
So like I said, Trinidad and Tobago, there should be some sort of penalty. If the Ministry of Finance has to release a document, why is it coming from agriculture? Or why is it coming from trade? Why? I know in the PNM administration, they didn't even know what their portfolio was, because Health talking about road talking about Wasa talking about Tiantec, and it went on like that. Road talking about Tiantec, Health talking about Tiantec. Apparently nobody didn't even know their own portfolio there. That's why I used to slam them. But how come this minister is saying about that? What happened to the other minister? Imagine Health talking about agriculture. So why can't the Minister of Agriculture talk about agriculture, considering the health of agriculture? But nevertheless, Trinidad and Tobago, it is what it is in our country today. But somebody needs to set records straight. Somebody needs to put down their foot and pull back the country together. We didn't expect the PNM to do it, because nobody really cared on that division. A tornado-like funnel cloud tore through Victoria Garden and West Mooring shortly before noon on Tuesday, causing significant damage to several homes and leaving residents shaken. The rare weather event brought strong winds, ripping of rooftops, snapping branches, and a shattering and scampering debris across the upscale community. No injuries were reported. Digomartin West MP Haynes Devines, speaking to the media, said at least 3 homes were affected at Cherry Crescent.
Again, it's unfortunate, and we'll do what we can do, however we can assist to remedy this situation that is in front of us. As for now, it's just really helping the residents get back to some form of normalcy. We will look at what grants, etc., are available for people in these situations, and hopefully the residents can get access to those grants and repair their properties in front of us.
Minister of the Ministry of Housing, Philip Alexander, earlier said local government Minister Khadija Amin was putting together a team to respond to the damages.
We are going to do the data collection. We're doing the data collection for every household as we usually do. This is not a situation where persons, we need to send it for them to get a grant to replace their roof and so on. It's important for us to have the data to accurately reflect the damage, the extent of the damage.
Minister Amin described the seriousness of the matter and how they went about assessing affected houses.
These houses are so soaked. TNTech cut off the electricity to the affected streets. They are doing repairs to their infrastructure, all the fallen lines and so on. One by one, they are going to reconnect each street and then each household. But some of these houses, because the structure is so soaked, it's not safe to turn on electricity in that house, although we turn it on for the street.
So now, viewers, residents were informed of the damage and were advised to wait before turning on their electricity. This is a developing story, viewers, and further updates are expected. In Trinidad, we're in tornado now. Imagine things changing. But it's not the first time. This is not the first time for something like this in our country. It has happened before. We just had to be careful. We just had to be prepared for disastrous event happening. I mean, we're in September. We're going into October. I believe the dry season will start very soon. We are looking forward to hear what the Ministry of what the Ministry have to say then. The Ministry of Public Utilities. Very soon they're going to release some information concerning the dry season. We just have to wait and see. Moving on. A young girl had a narrow escape on Sunday after falling into the fast-flowing East Dry River in Gonzales. The incident occurred along Warden Lane when 8-year-old Abigail tumbled into the swollen river and was quickly carried downstream. Fortunately, Abigail was rescued unharmed, leaving her family and onlookers relieved. Her mother, Christine, recounted the frightening ordeal to reporters on Monday, describing the panic and fear as her daughter struggled against the current.
It was really traumatizing. Practically, she said that she was tumbling in the water. She tried to breathe, couldn't breathe. She said her stomach full up with water and she vomited. And that was whilst in the water. And then when she reached to the East Dry River there by where Besson Street police station is, she said the policeman jumped in the water. She said somebody else jumped in before, but he couldn't reach her. And then she saw the policeman jump in the water.
So viewers, Christine expressed much gratitude to those who offered their assistance in ensuring her daughter's safety during the unfortunate event.
I just want to thank the police officers and also the gentleman, that saved the life of my daughter. And I know that God really spoke to them, that gave them that instinct to save her life.
She recalled her reaction when she heard about her daughter's incident.
I began to pray, and I know that that's how God works. I mean, we all may not understand how He works, but He works in such mysterious ways, and I just have to say that it's just the hand of God, because most times it's unexplainable.
So Trinidad and Tobago, we just want to thank the people who are involved in saving the little girl. But nevertheless, you never know when the unguarded moment will hit you, citizens. So that's why you have to take every day as you're living today, but you're preparing for tomorrow. It's not easy. Viewers, we are going for a short commercial break. When we return, TNT Aviation, key pillars for economic development. More after this.
We'll be right back.
Throws you a curveball, and you need a clear path forward. Trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the glaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
Welcome to Real Talk Financing and Investment, a place where your loans are guaranteed and you're rewarded with up to 5% upfront interest on your deposit. Why wait when you can invest with us today and reap the benefits? Speak with a representative at our central branch at 238-6716, 231-6219, or 339-1670, or our south branch at 242-9944, 241-0543, or 339-1670. Real Talk Financing and Investment. Investment company just for you. For you. For you. For you.
Welcome back.
So Trinidad and Tobago, remember, we at Real Talk, we have excavators for sale or rent, and we have our yacht also. So these excavator viewers, they are 2023 model excavators. It's 305 and 306. It's next to new, plus we have complete auger system for these excavators. So those of you who are in the construction business and you're looking for an excavator to buy, this excavator next to new is 2023 model. We are in 2025. So you can contact me at 339-1670. You get in a complete Auger system, viewers. A complete Auger system. And next, a new excavator. 339-1670. Contact me, Trinidad and Tobago. If you're in the construction industry, you're looking for excavator to rent, or you're looking for excavator to buy, you can contact me. Also, Real Talk Legend. Legend is a yacht, Trinidad and Tobago. It's my personal yacht. And I have decided to put it out in the public domain now for rental. So those of you who want to go down the island, those of you who want to sail around Trinidad and Tobago, it's not a problem. You can contact me, viewers, and we could do some tours. Birthday, you like me with some friends, you just want to take a day off from work, or you and the family decide to go down and just cook down the island. It's not a problem. The hunting season open, so we could afford to go down the island and cook now. The interior, it's proper, so those of you on the executive side, this is the perfect thing for you. The ideal thing for you. It's fully air-conditioned, internet, you have TV, you have music, you don't have to worry, and we have a stove at the back, so you're cooking when you're on the island. Down the island, my mistake. So viewers, remember, if you're looking for an excavator, contact me, or you're looking to go down the island on a chartered, contact me also, 339-1670, and you will deal directly with me. Back to our news tonight. Focus is being placed on the aviation as an important pillar for the country's economic future. This, according to the Minister of Transport and Civil Aviation, Eli Zakur, while he was addressing the Airport Council International, Latin America and the Caribbean Annual Assembly Conference and Exhibition in Port of Spain on Monday. Listen to this.
The government of Trinidad and Tobago has placed aviation as a critical pillar for the economic development of the country. The Ministry of Transport and Civil Aviation has taken meaningful strides to strengthen and modernize aviation infrastructure and policies. Our main focus is on strengthening the relationships with key stakeholders in the sector, locally and internationally.
So now, viewers, he added that advanced aviation or advancing aviation technology and border management technologies, as well as other initiatives, are also on the government's agenda. Moving forward with technology, viewers, is the key figure in development in our country, especially AI. Especially AI. Listen to this now.
We have held meetings with other diplomatic heads to advance direct air service, improve air connectivity and passenger movement, and boost trade and economic ties. Namely, because it's our vision to ensure that Trinidad and Tobago remains a crucial part of regional development of this industry.
So meanwhile, viewers, the president of the Airport Council International, Latin America and the Caribbean, Monica Infinite, highlighted the importance of the regional aviation sector. Remember, Trinidad and Tobago, aviation is important in our country. Listen.
Our region already moves more than 750 million passengers a year, and the airport industry contributes more than $100 billion in economic value, generating millions of direct and indirect jobs.
Over the next 3 days, the annual assembly conference and exhibition will provide a platform for collaboration and opportunities for acknowledging exchange while advancing aviation future in Latin America and the Caribbean. So Trinidad and Tobago, we're going to see what is taking place there and keep you up to date on this story that is developing in our country. The new land and Legal Affairs Minister Saddam Hussein have stated that changes in portfolios are not a cabinet reshuffle. Understand, Trinidad and Tobago, it is not a cabinet reshuffle. It is, yes, new portfolios to new ministers. The following changes to the cabinet made by Prime Minister Kamala Prasad Bisasa, which has led to speculation about what led to these changes. Kamala.
It's not a cabinet reshuffle, but there's a realignment of various scheduled items under the Gazette. The Prime Minister asked all of us for recommendations in terms of how can we readjust certain parts of ministries and so on to make it more effective.
So now viewers, probably like I said before, the minister, their management team, they probably had key officials in those teams that when the minister re-examined, when you re-examine staff, you understand that instead of having these individuals here and they are doing nothing, it's best I reassign our portfolio to this minister's portfolio so that the individual on the management level could be able to deal with it additionally. Progress, let me tell you something, maximum work for the ministers and their ministry, also the staff. Performance. When you want to see something grow, maximize. Spread out. Add new things and spread is the only way you will see growth and proper responsibility also. Now, Trinidad and Tobago, ask if there was any synergy between the portfolios of land and the portfolios of legal affairs where, for example, documentation is concerned. This is what the minister had to say.
Ministry of Agriculture, through the Commissioner of State Lands, would have been the custodian of the state assets of lands. Then you had the Ministry of Legal Affairs, the Registrar General's Department, that registers those into deeds or certificates of title. And then you had the Ministry of Finance playing a very important role through the Valuation Division, which will assess what the values of the lands are that determines the lease price, that may determine, for example, state grants, the cost of what the lands will be and so on.
Now, Saddam Hussein is an attorney, and I believe viewers, the legal affairs, the land and legal affairs department, that is the perfect man for the job. He's an attorney, he has a strong knowledge of the law, plus his team, his management, I heard that they are A-class. So, for the Prime Minister to reshuffle and assign portfolios such as legal affairs to Saddam, let me tell you something, is a perfect choice. The perfect choice because of the fact that he's an attorney and he will know exactly how to deal with it. Now, Hussein also stated that there is realignment of all land department that affects land distribution and management in Trinidad and Tobago. Under one umbrella, the ministry now called the Ministry of Land and Legal Affairs. That's a legal name now. The ministry also sought to clarify his new land portfolio. Ask if this will be a processor to the issue of tax on land and properties. He said this realignment would be made to make land tenure more effective. Listen to this.
Does not arise. What we're doing based on this realignment is simply making land distribution and land tenure effective in this country. We have heard time and time again that persons have issues with getting state leases, state grants, and so on. This is what this alignment is about, making it efficient.
So Trinidad and Tobago, for instance, county workers, how long they're waiting? Decades to get their deed. Decades. Let me tell you something. They have waited out all their lives almost. Some of them died still waiting. Was there a speedy process under the PNM administration? No. It was not. So that's why I said, for the Prime Minister, Kamala Prasad Bisasa, to put legal annual land under Saddam Hussein is the perfect choice. Is the perfect choice. So I was just told that there was some land distribution recently under the UNC. So Trinidad and Tobago, we can look forward to a more productive land distribution in Trinidad and Tobago in the coming months. Let's just give him a month or two for him to settle down, see what his portfolio is made up of, the extent that he has to go, and hopefully colony workers, among other people, are going to get their deeds at a very fast pace. Because I know he's a hard-working individual. I could vouch for him on that behalf. So viewers, when we come back, Alexander defends suggestion that child offenders be tried as adults. More when we return after this break.
We'll be right back.
Throws you a curveball, and you need a clear path forward. Trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the blaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
Welcome to Real Talk Financing and Investment, a place where your loans are guaranteed and you're rewarded with up to 5% upfront interest on your deposit. Why wait when you can invest with us today and reap the benefits? Speak with a representative at our central branch at 238-6716, 231-6219, or 339-1670, or our south branch at 242-9944, 241-0543, or 339-1670. Real Talk Financing and Investment. Investment company just for you. To be you. To be you. To be you.
Welcome back.
So Trinidad and Tobago, Homeland Security Minister Roger Alexander is standing by his position that certain young offenders should be tried as an adult, arguing that their action and intent in committing serious crime reflect adult-level decision-making. You know who should be treated like this? You see them bullies in school that causing school fight and thing in and out of the school? Yeah. You willfully know you're going and beat somebody. And in the act, you don't care what you do to that other person. So there should be some sort of center that will deal with these individuals who think beating up somebody else in school is an option. So since you could take it into your own hands and beat somebody excessively in school, there should be a center that will deal with you excessively Because you're under 18. You're going in an educational facility for you to gain some knowledge in your head. And you won't have to come out and be a dunce after school. You won't have to go on the block and sell marijuana. Because you're duncy head and you can't get a good job. You won't have to go and thief. You won't have to rob somebody. You won't have to be a kidnapper. You know why? Because you're duncy head and nobody wants to employ you. So you had to go and do something now to make money. It's sad, eh? It's sad. So I would support Alexander with this, and let some of them be tried as an adult. Because you 15 years and you walk with a knife in school? You 15 years and you have gun and bullet and all these kind of thing? Before you pick up your book, look to go in a trade center or something and get extra curriculum, extra activities on the weekend. You go to school to beat up somebody else's children? No, it have places for all you. And Alexander is right. Your decision making is like an adult. At least we have a minister now who's actually thinking about the children's future and trying to stop bullying in school and trying to get the youths now in a proper direction. Whereas, it's not my job to secure you. Well, remember that Rasta man? So there's the difference between two individuals thinking, let we forget party. Let we forget UNC, let we forget PNM. Fitzgerald Hines said, it's not my job to secure all you can do all you want. That is not my problem. Whereas, we have Roger Alexander, who is letting the children know that, hey, if all you want to make big man decision, you all will have big man treatment. Two individuals. Forget the party. Forget the party that they represent. We talk about two individuals, two prominent individuals. One is a lawyer, one is a police. Now that police is a minister. So look at it like that. Forget the party. We're looking at the youths. We're looking at the children. We're looking at the kids and the future of Trinidad and Tobago. That's what we're looking at. The mentality of thinking. Call a good night.
Night, Mr. Saeed. You're certainly a great soul with a great program and using what the divine being bless you with.
Yes,
knowledge
yes.
and so on to make this country a better place and to do good to your fellow citizens. Unlike that video you highlighted yesterday, 8 big men beating and abusing and assaulting an unarmed elderly citizen in this country. That's what they use their office and position for. We have been saying that years now, but they use their office, their uniform and their position to advantage the citizens of this country, and that is wrong. You know, a few months ago, I highlighted these things for you, and Gavaro boasted he had 362 traffic exercise and issued 17,000 tickets and reward wrongdoers for 7,000, issuing the citizens of this country 7,000 tickets, reward those hooligans. Well, there are people still looking to congratulate those hooligans that issued the ticket. Time will catch up with them. You know, you said something. You said, Kola, they will be dealt with. You know that is so true in life. They don't understand the wages of sin, you know. The wages of sin is death by suffering. And if it don't face them, it will face their children and their immediate family and so on. You know that is true. Over 12 police officers died for Gavaro 100 days he boasting of. We're not happy about it, but this is the wages of sin. And to those licensed officers who are doing nothing good in this country but bringing pain and suffering to the fellow citizens and Clark and these and Gavaro and them, they will pay severely and dearly for that. Anyway, I'm very sad what happened with this tornado in Westmoreland.
Yes.
Very saddened for these people.
Yes,
and I
it
hope
is.
you all will overcome these challenges. So, Mr. Saeed, you keep up the great work you are doing, man, to make this country a better place and to alleviate the pain and suffering from your fellow citizens. God will richly bless you and your staff. Take care.
Thank you, my friend. So now, viewers, Alexander says his proposal is not about punishing children harshly, but about ensuring accountability in the light of the growing number of offenses being committed by minors. He stated that children who commit crime think they can face the full brunt of the law, and that is true. That is true. 14, 15, 16, you're walking with an ice pick, you're walking with a gun, you're walking with a knife. Really? You under 18, your parents responsible for you. You know why I just tell my two sons that when they go to school? The day you hear the police call it, the principal call the police and all you will deal with the matter, you know. If you're correct, I will stand for you. But if you're wrong, the police will deal with you. That is what I just tell my two sons. Because my two sons ain't coming to break my image and my public figure image that I have maintained for the last umpteen years as a prominent individual in society. They ain't coming to do that. And I just tell them that every single day. If something happened into the school, report it to the principal, report it to the security, report it to the dean, report it to the teacher. Nobody is coming wrong you for reporting something to the teacher. I myself will deal with them. Trust me. I will walk into the school and deal with it. I just tell people, don't come around my kids, you know. Don't come around my kids, you know. You're raising a different side of me, you know. And I'm saying this because I am a parent. And I know for other parents, what I am saying will be the same thing. I wouldn't pick up a gun or a cutlass or a knife or pay somebody to deal with you. No, my work different. I will go in my prayer room and light my light and do my thing. It's spiritual work I just do. That's what make me different. Others now will do it differently. Because why? You're involved in physical abuse, not a problem. That is what you do to my son. Well, we go deal with you on the physical way. If I can't do it, somebody go do it. And that is what is taking place in our country. Imagine you are more than 16 years and you done walking with gun, you're walking with bullet. Your father is a gangster, he's a bad boy in school. Really? Well, then let your father keep you home and pay somebody to teach you inside the house. Don't disrupt other people's children's lives. Don't. Call a good night.
A very, very good evening to you, Mr. Saieed.
To you, my friend,
Hello.
also.
Hello?
Yes, I'm hearing you.
Okay, good. So a lot of these criminologists weighing in on this topic about trying minors as adults. But these people saying it could scar children for life and whatnot, and they're just saying what they had to say. But none of these criminologists is offering any solutions.
Thank you very much for that.
No solution. They're just saying what they're saying and no solutions. And one criminologist in the public domain, Figueroa, weighing in, he was saying that in America, they don't try minors in court. Well, I have news. I don't know what planet you're living on, but in the United States, there is 3 tiers of justice.
Yes.
So children minors, you have the juvenile courts, and if they're found guilty, they send them to a juvenile detention center, where they have to get up on time, they have to do schoolwork, chores,
correct,
whatnot, but they incarcerated.
They calculated.
Right. So, and then the other system is the county prisons, and then when they commit a big crime like manslaughter and big serious crimes, then you go to federal prison. But again, these children need to know the time of the day. They're really, really playing the anyway. All the best.
Thank you, my friend. Yesterday I saw some fight taking place, I believe in some school. Blue uniform, I think they was wearing. And I was shocked. I was shocked to see these little children fighting like big man. You see, I'll tell you something. All these criminologists, these lawyers, these magistrates who say, you know what, we shouldn't try them, we should give them a chance. Let me tell you something repeated they're doing. They're growing up abused from in school. They learn to abuse from the school. Everybody talking about it, but what are we doing? What are we doing about it? I just always say, I've been saying this for years, when crime started to escalate in Trinidad and Tobago, you know why they say? The police have gone to kill. The police license to kill. The less pests it have in society, it is better for the growth of the country. People will say, oh, Saeed, you can't say that on TV. Imagine one man had 22 gun case. One man have 50 larceny case. One man have 110 housebreaking case. And you walk in the road like nothing happened. But when Kamala bring out now stand your ground legislation to protect your home, like a set of wolf. Angry wolf. Hey, caller, good night.
Yes, sir, good night.
Go right ahead, my friend.
Saeed, I want to touch on two things there. Right?
Talk to me.
One from the previous caller and one from the caller that now call, right? I'm going to tell you something, right? The man was talking about licensing officers and things. The man have a very good point there. Let me tell you something, right? These fellas coming outside and harassing the working public, buddy. Man who trying to make a 8 to 4, driving here, doing transport, all kind of thing. We the people that coming down and harassing we. And the men that coming out to rob you, them coming out after hours in the night. I want them to start coming out all 1 in the morning and say and having roadblock all over to catch these fellas and things. Because they're coming out there, they're stressing we out with this traffic, and on top of that too, they're getting a ticket for all kind of madness, right? And let me tell you what is the downside to this whole thing, right, side? Them coming out there and stressing out everybody in the traffic, stressing out themselves. And when you go in licensing office to renew your permit, you have to wait half a day. To go and take a picture and get a driver's license, you have to wait half day. Because why they don't have staff inside it? Because them fellas coming outside here and harassing the public now. Right? The people are trying to make the 8 to 4 to make the money to help put back money into the country. Right? That is one of the problem.
I understand.
Stay in the office and do their work. So everything will run smooth.
Correct.
And listen, concerning this whole thing with Alexander and these minors, Alexander have a point there. Look, I read in an article day before where Mukarafo East, they vandalized 16 teachers' cars.
Look at that.
From the school, you know.
Look at that.
You see the article? You see them? You see what they do with all these teachers? Brand new vehicles, they scrape up all these teachers' cars. Who can pay for that? You just imagine you buy a brand new vehicle side and you pay an installment. You got to pay insurance to the vehicle. You got to pay to service your vehicle. And now you got to come and paying back your vehicle. Why? Because somebody can't correct their child from home and they come in school with a bad behavior and them decide, you correcting them decide to take it out on you by defacing your vehicle.
Yeah.
I find the ministry and the school should have come to these students and let all the parents from that school put up money and paying back all the teachers and them cars. Because it's unfair to the teachers who coming out there to work hard for their money by side. I support what Alexander say, and let me tell you something. You see these youths outside here, them don't care about nothing, you know. You want me to tell you what they care about? They care about the image. They care about taking selfies and putting it up on social media.
Yes.
And one thing that the government could do to these little children is put them out there to do community service, pick up rubbish, clean drain, all them kind of things, and let them take selfies doing that. And let me see how far they can reach.
Correct.
They're going to keep themselves in line. Anyway, Saeed, you enjoy your night, brother.
Thank you, my friend. So, viewers, we are going for, anyhow, we have about 10 minutes left, so we go organize it. Alexander said his proposal is not about punishing children harshly, but about ensuring accountability in the light of growing numbers of offense being committed by minors. Listen to this.
We can definitely in the law treat someone who's of a childish age, though, as an adult in a court of law because of his actions. We have no choice. They are making joke about serious matters, believing that all they will receive is a bare slap on the wrist.
So now viewers, Alexander said the country must confront the changing reality of youth involvement in serious crime. Nothing that many offenders today cannot be viewed in the same light as children from previous generations. However, Clinically, psychologist Vandana Saieed Ali has warned that trying children as adults in a court of law can backfire on the country. How come? How that backfire? You're young. Listen to this, eh? You're young. You're 15 years old. You're going to school. But you're walking with an ice pick. 15 years of age. And you're walking in the school with an ice pick. So what Vandana had to tell that child now? Tell me, Vandana. What you going to tell a 15-year-old child? Number one. What is the ice pick for? Why are you going to school with an ice pick? Is there an ice factory in the school? No. So what is the purpose of you putting an ice pick in your bag and going to school? That is one. Number two, what you intend to do with the ice pick now when you're in the school. That is the second question. The third question is now, when you use your ice pick to stab up somebody, can you handle the consequences at the age of 15? I want to let her understand something. From the time you write your exam and you enter secondary school, that is when you start a different life altogether. You start putting yourself in alignment to become educated, to become a better person, to have education, not to be a dunce head. From the time you write your SCA and you get your result and you enter a school, it's for the betterment of you. So why the ice pick in the bag? Your mentality of thinking is not the 15-year-old. Your mentality of thinking is over a 30-year-old who have nothing else to do with his life but to walk with an object to look for problem. And you started at 15 in the school. So that's okay. Vandana, that is okay. He could go to school, stab up somebody, come back out, get suspended, and then you know what? They go find a next school to go to, and he back in his school again with the same ice pick again. So what about the person now? You stab with the ice pick. What going on with that person? Well, then they're spelling wrong. So Trinidad and Tobago, what does Saieed Ali has to say concerning this? How will it backfire? Let me tell you something. You put in hardened criminal. Let me tell you something, Trinidad and Tobago. You have a 30-year-old man. A 30-year-old man with 50 gun charges. So what are you saying about he now, Saieed Ali? He backfiring? No, he ain't learning the lesson. That's the problem. He ain't learning his lesson. He have 50 gun case. You have 25 larceny case going on? Nah. All you learning all a lesson. So all you need to learn it in a different way. In Dubai, they catch a thief and they chop out this one time and make it an example. They chop it out one time and make it an example. It have no second chance. None. So sometimes we have people in society that needs to zip your mouth sometime. Yes, I understand you're advocating for children. But you never know them same children go harm your children in school. So before that happen, let me pass update. Let me put something. Trying to make it easy, you know. It's easy. It's easy. Now, we're moving along now to the prison commission. Acting Prison Commissioner Hayden Ford have stated that the prevalence of drone sighting and use of the device to try and smuggle items into the prison has led to discussion over anti-drone equipment at prison facilities. On Friday, a joint exercise between Prison Service and the TTPS and the Defense Force led to the arrest of 2 people. One of the person is a 13-year-old boy. Imagine that Trinidad and Tobago. A 13-year-old boy. We reaching somewhere now? Look at the age. 13 police hold you. Right? But when Alexander talk now is a problem. When Saieed say introduce it now, let her feel it. Oh, he's an anchor on TV, he's a newsman, he's a professional businessman, and hear what he's saying. 13 years old, really? It's sad. It's sad. The duo, police said, tried to fly a drone laden with marijuana, cigarettes, wrapping paper, and cell phone into the Aruka maximum security prison. Contacted for comment, Ford reported that since April, there have been 626 drone sightings near prison facility and said such a high number is a phenomenon was cause for concerns. Listen to this, Trinidad and Tobago.
From April 4th, 2025 to October 4th, we have had at least sightings, 626 sightings of drones coming into our airspace. The vast majority of those flights are at the maximum security prison because our greatest population condensed at maximum security prison. The greatest amount of remanded inmates are at the maximum security prison.
Now viewers, referring to a case where the anti-drone net could be used to capture drones, Ford said, while these measures would be useful, there were other considerations being entertained. Listen to this one now.
What is really needed is anti-drone devices that are in a fixed place that will cover a certain radius. And if when that being the case, any drone that comes into that space, that device will detect it, it will capture it.
So trying to make sure we can get some EMPs and set it up on the roofs in the prison, on top the walls in the prison. Drop some EMPs right around the prison wall on top. Eh? Whenever you let Trinidad and Tobago, there must be something. Now, Minister of Homeland Security Roger Alexander stated that updated equipment are coming. Well done. Let me listen a bit of what Alexander has.
We intend to get a lot of updated equipment to treat with the drone problem, and not equipment that could be turned on and off by prison officers.
The man make it very clear. It's not something I can turn on and turn off, you know. Very, very clear the man make it. But nevertheless, Trinidad and Tobago, we are out of time for tonight. But our rerun of this program is tomorrow from 11:30 to 12:30 p.m. We'll be right back here another night for Real Talk with Saieed Ali. So viewers, until then, be safe. Remember, if you don't teach your child about their behavior, it is a reflection of you as the parent. Always remember that. Good night, viewers.